Hello and welcome to this episode of The Inner Estate with your host, Bridget Stuart. I have an incredible guest today, Mr. Ryan Wimpey. Ryan, thank you for being our guest today.
Bridget, thank you so much for having me on.
I got to tell you, you're one of the guests I'm most excited about because I am a dog fanatic and I also like people. And you happen to work with both. So you have created this business where not only are you a world-class dog trainer, but you are also a speaker and a leadership coach with humans. So can you tell us a little more? Because I find this fascinating.
Absolutely. So yeah, we have a franchising company with 26 locations, 2 more signing up right now. And our buy-in is very low. For 6 weeks of training and a lot of gear, it's under 50 grand.
Wow.
And so, yeah, very low in the franchise space. And so that attracts someone, they could buy that with 2 credit cards, right?
Right.
Person who's owning a business is normally someone who would be an employee, possibly their whole life. And so it gives them a good opportunity. But most of those people they've maybe been in a sales position or a management position, but very rarely have they actually owned their own business and
Yes.
been in that driver's seat.
Yes. And it can be different. Well, it is different. It can really challenge them in their day-to-day, both leading others and even how they carry themselves and lead themselves.
Yeah. So doing the job versus running the business is
Yeah.
2 completely different hats. So part of what we do at franchising, my wife is a very good growth coach as well. She's a big part of the business, but we're helping to grow people. We grow our corporate team, and a lot of those locations came from, so one of our guys, he's 26. He was managing a Starbucks, assistant manager at a Starbucks inside of Target. And he opened a location. 7 months later, he bought his second franchise. He's 26, right? He didn't go to
That's
college.
amazing.
Yeah. So we're helping to grow people, and it's really rewarding. And I think one thing is when you give someone a playbook and you teach them, hey, if you can implement this playbook, your income will keep going up. Here's how to hold yourself accountable. Here's how to hold others accountable. And you handhold someone through that, and you give them the option like, hey, if you want to make more money, here's the path. If you don't want to make more money, you can stay right here. Or
Right.
3, you can go find something else to do.
Yes. If you want to make less money, then
Yeah.
do that. Right. Yeah. So I think that's really exciting. And you mentioned that you are growing leaders. You are like empowering and growing people. So give us an example, like that young man that bought the first, that was the Starbucks assistant manager.
Right.
Give me an idea with his 2 locations. How many people is he providing jobs for?
Yeah. So currently he just has a staff of 2 right now. They're running pretty lean.
Okay.
He and his wife have no kids. So they're wanting to work extra hours and stack a lot of money right now for a few years before they start having kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we have
Great
locations.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Anywhere
that plan.
from a few employees to 15.
Okay. So that would be one of like, is that one of your larger 1 locations, or is that one of your clients that has multiple locations and has a total of 15 people?
Yeah. So 1 location with 15. So again, my
Wow.
location, I've got 13.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where is yours?
It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is exciting. When in your work, because as I mentioned briefly, you're the CEO of this franchising, you're still an owner of your location, you're also a speaker, and you're a coach and developing leaders. How do you lead yourself? How do you keep yourself in that growth mindset?
Yeah. So one is I keep reading.
Yes.
So I keep reading. Right now I'm reading a book called Doing Hard Things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just about building resilience. And I'm always listening to podcasts and stuff too. But the biggest one is we keep, my wife and I keep coach stacking.
Good.
Paying for coaches, coach after coach after coach. So right now I have a speaking coach, we have a social media coach, we have a Facebook coach, right? Well, the social media consultant.
Yeah.
And then we have a franchising coach. So we're mentored by a lady. She ran a 150 location franchise for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she knows things that we don't know. I've been
That's right.
in the dog training business for 16 years, but in franchising only 6 now. And so someone who's ran it 20 years with 150 locations, they just have insight that I don't have.
Yes.
Right.
And they will challenge your self-perception because their perception of you is different than whatever that last coach was. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's like it. So that's remarkable. When you mention,
Consultants
so
now are much more niche than they used to be, though.
same with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hired my first coach in February 1999. I've been with a coach or coaches ever since. But it's similar. So I have one that's with the podcast and with CEO and leadership and finance, like wealth building, so,
Yeah.
but and it's funny because some people think, well, if someone's been a coach since 2009, because that's when I started actually doing coaching in addition, oh, they must not have any coaches anymore. But in my experience, it's more like what you and I are saying. You actually have more,
Yeah,
right? And it's
exactly.
more niche and because addicted to growth
Yeah. Well,
and challenge.
the higher up you go, I think you have to get more niche or the information just becomes irrelevant.
I agree.
The people who got us to like $1 million locations, they're not taking us to 10. Like the small business coach can't take you to 10 or $20 million a year. He just can't do it. It's
Correct.
not in his wheelhouse.
Correct.
He can take you from 200 or 300 to 800 to a million, but he can't take you to 10. He just can't do it.
I agree. That's my experience as well. So I think that's really exciting. With your wife, just out of curiosity, because it sounds like she also, as you said, is really a leader.
Yes.
So with the coaches you have, do you each have your own or do you all share and do the coaching together?
We do a lot of it together. She manages basically all the companies.
Mm-hmm.
So she does the hiring, firing management more for all of the companies.
Mm-hmm.
In the franchise coaching for each individual location, when we do monthly coaching calls, she's doing a majority of them and I'm doing some of them too. It depends.
Okay.
I'm more marketing sales focused.
So I want to go back. Can you tell us a little bit more about the beginning? Because we're seeing today, like you're thriving and, you're impacting humans and dogs and building this family legacy. We see all of that. What were you doing prior? And what was that revelation? How did you wake up one day and say, you know what? I'm building my own, I'm assuming, your own canine training company, Top Canine. Like, tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about?
So I had a dog that I got off the side of the road. His name was Curly. He was a little scruffy mutt. And I got him home, thought life was going to be amazing. And Curly had every behavioral issue possible. So I had roommates at the time. This was like 20 plus years ago. Roommate number one left. He was my best friend. Roommate number two threatened violence on both of us. Curly barked nonstop. He peed everywhere. He had all these issues. So it got me obsessed with dog training. And then I just kept looking, working with trainers. And then eventually I started, I got another dog. And I was like, cool, I'm going to train this next dog starting at 8 weeks old. Right? I'm going to train as early as possible to avoid all these like painful issues and relationship issues, apartment issues, like all these issues, carpet issues. And then, so I worked with some other trainers that had a better idea of kind of what they were doing. And then I was like, hey, this is amazing. Look at this transformation in my dog. Hey, can I work for you guys? And they're like, no, it takes too long to train people. And I'm like, can I work for free? And they're like, no. And I'm like, please, can I please work for free? And they're like, I guess. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like begging to work for free. And I was like, oh, get valuable. I'm not dumb. So eventually they said, yeah, I guess you can work for free. So I worked for free, learned, and became valuable. So then obviously I'm on the payroll. And so I worked as a part-time dog trainer for a few years while working at my family business. My family had a construction supply, power tools, equipment. So I did purchasing, and then I'm in a little cubicle doing purchasing. And then I also helped in the warehouse if that guy called out because it was a family business without a lot of...
That's right. Roll the sleeves up. You get it done.
And occasionally I go to the sales counter. Like it was one of those. And Dad closed it at about 60 years. So it had been open for like 53 years, but still almost like a MS-DOS type computer software, stuff like that. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this forever. And then so I did part-time dog training. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I'm making the same amount working part-time as a dog trainer as I am in a full-time job as a person.
That's an eye-opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then then the people I worked for, they moved. And I was like, well, this sucks, right? What am I going to do now? I had met a guy that was like, oh, I could help you start your own business. And I was like, I don't want to start my own business. I just want to be a dog trainer. This is amazing. So then when they left, I had to kind of start my own business. So I had a little help, hey, this is how you start a business. This is how you print out flyers. This is how you do stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Likely sources of marketing and yeah.
Yeah. So I had to choose, go back to being a purchasing agent or start your own business. And the first 2 years, 2.5, I hated it. It was horribly. It was so hard. Right?
Right.
Which I think a lot of people don't realize how hard it is until they start.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, I love the job. But now I have to, figure out payroll. I have to figure out leads, hiring. I got to figure out
insurance.
Yeah,
supplies.
Insurance, accounting. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my gosh.
Ugh, yeah.
So that's how it started. Basically, I had to either go back to a real job or figure it out. So I figured it out.
Out of curiosity, the two people that you had been working for, I'll use language in my industry, did they sell you their book of business? Did they give you like all their past clients and set up a referral fee? Or were they just like, this was fun, we're moving to Arkansas, bye? Like, what did they...
fun, we're moving to like Indiana. Yeah. If you want to get paid the same and do everything, we could kind of keep it. And I was like, I don't think that sounds like 100%.
No. Yeah.
I mean,
so
they were
great
people, but they were just kind of owner operators too, right?
That's right. They didn't have that business mindset.
So they didn't have it there set up. I think they would have, and I would have taken it,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if the deal had been just slightly sweeter.
Oh, yeah.
And you had a little more freedom. Yep.
Just look.
However, blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So blessing in disguise. It was rough for a few years, but
how'd you keep yourself going during that time?
I didn't really have another option. Yeah.
Good. So did you have a mindset, just whatever happened yesterday, you were getting up the next day and making it happen?
Absolutely. So my grandpa, he went from One Oak, which is a Fortune 500 company, like natural gas company. He went from meter reader to CFO. The guy makes like $2.5 million a year who has his job, right? And so he worked from 8 to 5. He went to school from 5:30 to 9:30 for 4 years. He took his lunch every single day, and he did nothing fun for 4 years, right? And he changed his life. Serious. Well, my grandmother had 2 young kids under 5. And I'm like,
there you go.
How are you doing this? And he's like, you got to do. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the mentality,
You had that role model.
Yeah. And the same with my dad. Like for a long time, like his business was hard and he got up every day and went anyways. It didn't matter. Yeah. That's just, you do what you got to do. It's that old mentality. Like some of the Gen Zers may not have that now, but that's that old world mentality where they just get stuff done.
Right. There's, I will say in my chosen industry of real estate, you'd be surprised. There is a rising crop, I'll call it, of Gen Z.
Yeah.
And they are really impressing many of us in our industry. So, yes, that's kind of cool.
They just got the hunger, huh?
They have the hunger, yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, pretty much anyone attracted at a young age to real estate, they're pretty hungry and usually mavericks, but I have the privilege of working with some of them and it's pretty exciting. So, awesome. What's your wife's name?
Rachel.
When does Rachel come in the mix?
So, here's the trajectory.
Yeah.
Rachel comes in the mix. And the trajectory went up ever since then. Yeah.
Excellent.
So
you had shared with me, it sounds like she has a brilliant skill in operations, systems, and development.
Yes. She's the glue. She's the operations manager. She kind of holds everything together. She brings the organization. I'm more that visionary, like let ready, fire, aim, and just keep firing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So Rachel comes on board. She starts training. She was actually helping one of my friends scale his business. And I was like, hey, we're stuck at like 20 grand a month. And I got like 13 dogs at our house, right?
Right.
We got a 1,400 square foot house and I'm running 9 to 13 dogs in this 1,400 square foot house. We got employees showing up at 7 a.m. at my house in the middle of a city.
Yeah.
The neighbors don't know how many dogs we have. And I'm like, instead of helping Whitney scale his business, can you stop working with Whitney and work for me? And she's like, I can work with you. And I'm not working for you, but I can work with you. So that was it's an adjustment. So she came on and we went from 3 employees up to 8 and moving into a facility. We started organizing a call center, organizing scripts, having an actual back office instead of everything on paper sloppily.
Mm-hmm.
Moved into software. And then I think most people when they first start, they're hiring people they know, right?
Yes. Or they're related to.
Yeah. So I'm hiring people I know, and she actually brought in real hiring,
Nice.
real management. And then the skill level just goes up. And then the income level just goes up.
Right.
Yeah.
And usually the overall client experience improves. Not saying it wasn't good before, because there is something about that personal touch of a small operation. So don't take this as criticizing the small operation. But usually when it is more of what you're describing, the client experience goes up, which typically leads to more word of mouth and more referral business.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what we saw. I mean, when it's the owners running everything, stuff is going to slip between the cracks,
Yeah.
right? You can't help it.
You really can't. And I am not an expert in your industry, but I would imagine that during that time, when I'll call it the smaller owner-operator structure, I am sure that you placed a remarkably high priority on the dogs performing well and reacting well. Like, I'm sure that your number one was making sure that those dogs were well trained, which then led to the happy customers. Yeah, so some of the other business planning and could you cut a better deal on supplies or getting the those things become a lower priority, even though they're still important.
Yeah, so it's easy with the dog world to just be like, okay, cool, I can do it myself and I can make a ton of money. Cool, yeah, you can just work 80 hours a week and make a ton of money. You'll just have no life balance ever.
Right.
Right. Went like 4 years, no vacation, working 6.5 days a week.
Right.
And that doesn't work as you become more of an adult.
Correct. Yes.
Like early 20s, not a big deal. Married with kids, you have problems.
That's a problem. Right.
Yeah.
So when did the franchising start?
Yeah. So franchising started because basically we'd systemized our Tulsa location good enough to where I'm only having to work 3-4 hours a day.
Beautiful.
Sorry, 3-4 hours a week, 3-4 hours a week.
Even more beautiful.
Yeah. Rachel had hired enough people. She's bringing in high quality talent. I'm training them. The systems are good. I have time. I document more systems. Everything's good. I replaced myself in training and sales and fulfillment and call center. Everything's running. So then we're like,
golf course applause. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are like, good for you, whatever. Right. So then I'm like, okay, well, we got to go next step. We're not just going to sit around.
Right.
My goal had been kind of a 3-state area, like Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, like really work on. And so we started licensing, and we didn't actually set up to franchise. We started licensing the concept. We licensed it to 6 different people, people that were trainers or people that we knew. Half of them were clients.
Okay.
We said that had a good experience with us, right? So we licensed the concept really cheap. Like, hey, we'll send you for 4 weeks for $1, right? It's pretty hard.
Right.
Yeah. And you'll get all the back office support that you got as a client. And they're like, all right, that sounds awesome. So then we get started and it's going good and the people are doing good. The first 6, except we're paying them once a month, almost as like a contractor. So they're like, hey, what do we have to do to get the money right in our account? Like, we'll do anything in our account.
Yes.
So then we wanted them to just be corporate stores, but it ended up working better. And then part of it was also like, hey, if these are more like contractors or employees, there's nothing to stop them from just doing their own thing. And how you stop high skill employees from leaving and doing their own thing is you give them equity. So Rachel, they're like, hey, why don't we give them all the equity? They'll care more if they have 100% equity. And if they get a bad review, it's not on us. Like maybe a little, but it's on them. It's
on them. That's right.
Their mad client is now 100% their problem.
That's right.
And we actually get way better results. They care more, right? And so we ended up franchising, and it was hard. Franchising's, it's a beast.
It is a beast.
Yeah. But
it's a beast.
Yeah, it's working. When we started, we didn't know how hard it was, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Blissful ignorance.
Exactly.
Yes, that's right.
But
it's how we all end up with at least the first child.
Yeah. So then we did those 6. We franchised them. Actually, we franchised 5 out of 6. 1 didn't work, and we looked for a little higher character. We had some character issues with one of those original 6. We franchised 5 of them. Then we started franchising. Today it's $48,000, includes 6 weeks of training. We do call center support. We do all their marketing, all their Facebook, YouTube, Google ads, everything. We do all that for them. Answer their phones, take their payments, make their calendars, talk to their clients. 90% of the client communications is all on us, right?
How many states are you in now? Did it stay in just those 3
9
or have
states.
you?
Yeah, we're 9.
Awesome. Anything in Arizona yet?
Yes, I have one in Gilbert that serves basically all Maricopa County.
That's amazing. I'm in Paradise Valley, which is right in like Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Paradise Valley. They're a great team. They're actually the biggest location.
That's incredible. That's exciting. So this has been, I want to ask a question that I know, it's not a popular question. So how old are you now?
I'm 40.
Great. So when did you work for free with the 2 people that were your mentors?
21.
As a dog trainer.
Right out of college.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you built this over the last 18, 19 years.
Yeah. So I've been on my own tip top for 17 years now.
Okay. 17 years. I mean, I like to give people an idea of scale of time, right? And then I also want to ask one other question, because we've been in our conversation mostly focusing on like a highlight reel. You mentioned one of the licensees didn't turn into a franchisee. You worked for free. You made more part-time. You brought up some things, but would you mind sharing with everyone, has there been a time since you started in this journey where something really went sideways, and how did you overcome that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone likes the bad news. We had a partner that we were in contract with for ads that just stopped doing their work. And we were in a pretty hefty contract with them that we couldn't get out of. And so they're doing marketing for 16 locations, 14, whatever it was at the time.
Right.
And some of them hadn't been touched in 2 or 3 months. So people are complaining about ads. So we had to get really ad smart really fast. Now, like even on one account, we have 2 different agencies. We compete the agencies against each other now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And no one's on long contracts.
Good.
And I now we bring in third-party auditors. So someone is now complaining about their ads. I bring in a third-party auditor that knows he will never run our ads, ever.
That's right.
Not in business from us.
So you get that. He has no dog in the race, right? So he looks at it.
Yeah. And so then I say, hey, here's an audit. And then we sit down and talk to the marketing company about it. And they know they're going to get third-party audited because I tell them up front.
I think that's brilliant. That's a really good solution.
Yeah. So it was a very bad place, and it cost a lot of legal fees, and it made me take contracts a lot more seriously.
Yes. Yeah.
And
so it was an education.
Yeah. We just paid a whole lot of money for some good legal education. It was great.
Yeah. It does sound too, though, it was another circumstance, I'm assuming from what you described, where the role model of your parents working at the store with your parents, the role model of your grandfather and grandmother, it sounds like the minute you truly identified like, oh, dang, there's a major issue here, rolled up the sleeves. And I'm assuming you and Rachel were like, we're figuring it out. Like you said, you had to get really savvy about ads very quickly to try to stem because what happened with that contractor is they were reflecting poorly on you, fulfilling your obligations. Yeah. So you had to just jump in and do it.
Bad on us. I'm paying them $13,000-$14,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then all revenues are going down. And as a franchisor, I get paid off of gross revenue. So if everyone's revenue goes down, I don't have as much money to pay my staff. So now I'm paying someone for not doing their job. I don't have money to pay our staff. And so it's a really ugly situation.
That is ugly. Yeah.
Yeah. Rachel and I are both more on the aggressive side. So it is what it is. You can't just let those things go, but it was very ugly. We have to take care of our locations because they're in contract with us. We're contractually obligated to take care of them. So we had to bite some major bullets, but it ended up better, but it was an ugly time. And it made me take the contracts way, way more serious in terms.
Well, it also sounds like you and Rachel strategized pretty quickly on, okay, we're addressing it. We're getting in. We're fixing this right now. I'm sure that you both strategized and figured out, okay, how do we make the clients as whole as we're able, and how do we make sure that we're communicating with them so they understand this was not our intention for their experience. Like, I'm sure you got into like client care of the franchisees, you got into action with the ads, and you look at the contracts differently. What
Yeah,
I think is brilliant is you guys took it a step further and you came up with, all right, how do we prevent this from ever happening again?
100%. I have
That
to make sure it
is
doesn't happen
fascinating.
again. Yeah. And then it's awkward tension when I am talking with two agencies at the same time, and then my people, they know our locations can swap back and forth to whoever they want, and they know at some point if anything dips, I'll bring in a third. So I had brought in a third last year. The third's out now, but it keeps it a little spicier because the agency game is, let me get as many counts as I can, give them as little attention, and charge them as much as possible.
Right.
That's
And hope they don't notice stuff. Yeah.
Just let it go on autopilot, because the agency that we had before, they killed it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They were phenomenal until they weren't. And so as we scale, at 26 right now, we're going to 40. If I have a 20% dip in revenue at 40 locations,
that's significant.
Yeah, we got a huge dip, big problems. So now we have to catch that way faster.
All right. So you just shared one of my next questions, a goal that you all have on the horizon. You want 40 locations. When do you want to achieve that goal?
Yeah, in the next 2 years. So we do heavy support for our locations. So I have to grow our corporate team kind of at the same rate.
Yes, you have to grow the hub and the support and that. Okay.
And we're
and Rachel is kind of overseeing that predominantly.
Rachel's ready to go straight to 100. She's very aggressive.
I feel like I need to have Rachel on as a guest.
She's a beast.
She could be a guest. Yeah, that'd be cool.
She mentors women. She grows people. She's aggressive. She's great.
What other goals? Well, I have a couple of other questions.
Yeah.
Are you still training any dogs?
Yeah, you can't stop me.
Okay.
I'm the boss. They can't stop me.
Okay.
I'll still take appointments. I love it. Normally now it's whenever I'm training people. I train a lot of people, right? I train the locations. Like, we'll have a guy starting next week. He's going to open up in Galveston, Texas.
Nice.
And so I'll work with him. I'll go do appointments with him. But then what'll happen is if I go do consultations with people, some of the time if it's really crazy, like the last one was 2 pit bulls. They were stray. A mama jumped the fence, had babies, and left. This couple bottle fed the dogs, and the dogs are aggressive monsters.
Right.
8 months old. They're biting everyone that walks in. They're attacking other dogs. They're going to be put down. And these people bottle fed them. So they're attached. Like, they're super attached. There's this elderly couple. They're like 75, 80. And they don't want to get rid of the dogs. They can't take them to the vet. They can't walk them. They can't do anything with them. And so, like, I was like, oh man, I'm challenge on. Let's go. So I took those lessons because I'm like, hey, no one can stop me. I'm taking the lessons. And, in a month, they can walk the dogs on the leash. They can call the dogs. They can quiet them. Are they perfect? No, but they're really good.
Can they go to the vet?
They can go to the vet.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you're still doing that. And you just have that passion.
Yeah. Well, so like last week we had our Train the Trainer event. I had 17 trainers from across the U.S. come in, and my team and I critiqued them. So I led the event, and I'm hands-on with everyone, hands-on with the dogs 10 hours a day for 4 days. So it's like our Super Bowl. It's super fun.
You have to love that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. And then with the leadership growth that you're doing with people, do you reserve that just for the people that are in your organization, or are you also doing that independently of your organization?
Most of it is inside of Tip Top.
Okay.
Some of it is outside of Tip Top. One of my good friends, his name is Mark Delaney. He does lots of prison ministry, lots of group stuff. He helps people find their purpose, and he puts on seminars like all over the place.
Right.
Yeah. He just tries to get people focused on like freedom, freeing up their mind space.
Yes.
And so I do some stuff with him, but most of it is inside Tip Top. We're taking people that, we're at Chick-fil-A, and I'm building them into a manager, and they're going off and doing their own thing. Right.
That's great.
Someone that goes from $12 an hour to a location owner that buys location for $50,000. And then what happens is like those people are eternally grateful.
Of course. Yeah,
so
of course.
Rewarding. Yeah.
Yeah. We have some We have some of that dynamic in the real estate industry as well. And it's the thing that's cool about what you've built and my industry is that there's this low threshold, and it is actually an opportunity that is available for anyone.
Yeah.
Like literally anyone with the right mindset, mentorship, opportunity, anyone can do it. And so I think that's fascinating about what you've built as well. How old was the youngest franchisee?
I think it was 22.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 What else is big for you? So what other big goals do you have?
So
we have the 40 locations.
Yesterday we just hit 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Nice.
Yes. So we're aggressively growing on YouTube. Launching my second book, Dog Training Simplified. It's our first real dog training book on Amazon in 2 weeks. So I'm super excited for that.
That's incredible. And I'll have links to all of that. I'll double check the links with you, but I'll make sure that's all there. So if someone is out there, hopefully someone found you and I, they are in a job that is not satisfying them. And they have that dream and desire where they want their life to be more by choice and by their own design and not on someone else's schedule. But they feel stuck or feel like they don't have options. Or, as you mentioned, they feel as if, well, any business I could own is out of reach. What would you recommend as a first step for someone who feels as if they're stuck?
Yeah, if someone loves dogs, they can go to tiptopk9.com, click on the franchising button and fill out that form. And we do discovery days. So like I have 2 guys coming out in, I think it's 2 or 3 weeks. And one's like a manager of a restaurant. The other's a manager of a Love's gas station.
Oh, nice. I love Love's.
Yeah.
I have an RV. I always take my RV. I've got the little Love's membership in the card.
And so they're coming out and they already have good jobs, right?
Yes.
But they're like, I don't know if I'm doing this forever. And I love dogs because like our people, they don't want to do anything else. They're like,
right.
Yeah. So they come out for a discovery day. They shadow an appointment or 2 and they hands-on train dogs with it for 6 to 8 hours. And they go, normally it's either like a hell yeah or a no way. Right? They're like, more work than I thought it would be.
Yes.
Or they're like, this is so much fun. This is awesome. The time flew by. Like our last one was, the time flew by. This was so fun. And I'm like, yeah, like it's work, but it's actually really rewarding and fun to see the changes in the dogs. So regardless of whether they're in the pet industry or not, though, really, I would say, hey, look for something like real estate where your hard work can equal your income.
Yes.
You have to have that huge buy-in because if you learn the principles of success, they'll work in any industry. It doesn't matter.
It'll go in any industry. That's right. I can tell, I'm going to make an assumption that you have a very strong, I'll call it a mindset routine in the morning. I can tell that when you wake up, you're waking up with a clean slate in your mind of, I'm going to go be the best me I can be today. I'm going to be better today than I was yesterday. I didn't pre-interview, so I don't know your mantras, so I could be off on the words. But it does sound as if you wake up and you've trained yourself to wake up that this is going to be a great day.
Yeah, we try. And that's why I got kids that are 5 and 7 and a 4-week-old.
No way.
Yeah.
Are they boys or girls?
I got a 7-year-old boy, 5-year-old girl, and then a 4-week-old boy. So we do some of the old Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
I'm getting better and better. Every
That's
day. Right. I'm getting richer and richer.
That's
Today's
right.
a great day to be happy. And I do that with the kids in the mornings and afternoons too. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I do similar things and love Napoleon Hill. By the way, anyone listening, if you don't know Napoleon Hill, please look it up. Find the old recordings. Find the book, Think and Grow Rich. It's a game changer. So this beautiful family. Congratulations. Because I love dogs and I love kids. So you're in 2 of my favorite categories here. I do have one other technical question about someone who may be intrigued by Tip Top. What if they love dogs, but they don't have any experience in dog training?
That's almost better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess why. Can I guess why?
Yes, please do.
Because they don't have old habits that they have to unlearn before they get your training.
Yeah, do you want me to send you a Keller Williams 12-year-old employee, someone who's been there for 12 years that has already been trained? Is that who you want?
No.
No, probably not, right? They're going to be like, well, this worked.
Oh.
Well, yeah, sure it did, depending on your goals,
Yeah.
expectations, but that's not our systems. That's not how we run here. Yeah.
Do you visualize about a future as you and Rachel are building this? Clearly, I believe you're focused on creating generational wealth for your
Yes.
children, right? And a financial freedom. Do you also entertain thoughts of possibly one day, at least one of the children may want to step in this role with the company?
Sure. They both like it right now. Before we had our baby, my son Richard, Rachel was like, hey, let's take them on individual little dates, make sure they have like one-on-one time with us, And I was like, all right, dude, what do you want to do? You can do anything. What do you want to do? Ice cream. What do you want? And he's like, I want to go train dogs at Tip Top.
Nice.
Okay. So he's 7, right? So he puts on, he's got a yellow shirt too. So he puts on his yellow shirt, he puts on his little toddler Tip Top hat that we had made, and we go train dogs. But that's like what he doesn't want to go to the movies. He doesn't want to, ice cream. He wanted ice cream right after Tip Top, but that was his big thing he wanted to do. And then my daughter.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I know they could all pursue different things or have different passions, but it is another element of what you're doing that I think adds to the satisfaction as you're doing it. Being detached from the outcome of knowing they may choose another path, but knowing that's going to be a potential option for them is pretty exciting.
Yeah. I think one thing I've seen in other men who've owned big businesses or families, some of them hand it off and that never works. And some of them, they really make them earn it, start at the very bottom. And I think that's ideal. In the franchising space, the best I've seen is our mentor. She's like, hey, her son wanted to be in the franchise. She goes, cool. I'll make introductions. You work for someone else for 4 or 5 years in the franchise space. Then I'll hire you.
That was smart.
Yeah. And it lasted like 6 months. And then he said, it's not for me.
And that's why it was smart, because now she avoided some potentially really difficult conversations or dynamics. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. So I think the kids can do whatever they want to do. Like,
Yep.
I mean, they're 5 and 7. Like, who knows?
Yeah,
what
they're
do.
young. I know. That's why I knew when I asked it was a little far off, but I just was wondering if you ever had that little, it could potentially lead to something like that one day. I just think that I find that satisfying. And some of the work that I do outside of coaching, things I'm working on, I know that my 22-year-old may have an interest, in pursuing that.
Right now, our focus, if you've seen the people who leave home and then they never talk to their parents ever again, we want to make sure we transition. Yeah, we transition from, hey, they have morals and they grow up and then they actually still like their family.
Yes, I also that's a similar goal or perspective that I have.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, I just feel like this is clearly a very intriguing business. The thing that's exciting to me is that after 17 years of having Tip Top, 19 years, like when you go back to the origin story, that your energy and enthusiasm is still so clearly evident. You're very passionate about what you're doing. And I think that's inspiring. So if somebody wanted to reach out to you, what's your preferred method of somebody reaching out to you? I will have all your contact information in the description, but what's your preferred method?
LinkedIn is best. Okay. Only social media that I'm on really is LinkedIn.
Okay, good. So and we'll have your LinkedIn profile there.
If they're interested in franchising, if you fill out the form, one of our franchise directors, who's actually a location owner, we have a location owner actually call people. We pay him so he does not BS, and he won't let anyone that's really crazy in either because it's his network.
Yeah. So you've got your filter in place.
Great.
So
filter.
that's really good. Is there anything else that you feel compelled that you would like to share with anyone who's listening to us right now?
Yeah, just if someone wants to start their own thing, don't give up, but don't listen to all the BS. Know it's going to be super hard and that you can do it, and you're going to have to grow your mind around it. And the franchising concept as a whole is good for anyone, dog training or any other franchise, because what somebody's already spent, if they're a franchise that's been around for a while, let me rephrase that, 10 plus years, they already have a model that works. So what took me 10 years to get to, we have locations doing that number in 2 years.
It's great.
That's because the systems and everything are in place. So franchising is one way that people can run a business. And a lot of them are easy to flip and sell to get out of. So I would just encourage people to look at the franchising model a little deeper as a possibility, because as everything gets more and more competitive, in the market when people are fighting online for Google and Facebook ads.
That's right.
Franchise network and that brand gives something that you just can't get on your own without
I
a
would
lot
agree, especially if you want to scale a large business. If you want it to be, I call it hobbyist. I know that's not a great word. I need to think of a better word. If you just want a small business and you're a hobbyist and it's all, relation, that you don't need a franchise. But if you truly want to build a large scale business, I would agree with you. I think franchises are really of course, nothing in business is a guarantee. Nothing,
Sure.
right? However, you're going to have that acceleration by following the models. That's one of Gary Keller's favorite quotes is success leaves clues. And so that he says that in relation to a model. Clearly, Tip Top
Yeah.
Canine
Yeah.
has left success. The clue, there's clues in the success, and it's baked into the franchise agreement. So you're right. For a launching company right now, speed is so critical. You may have,
It is.
I'll say, $100,000 set aside, and you think, oh, that'll be enough. If you don't accelerate and you don't get beyond certain benchmarks, and even if we're talking about something other than real estate or your company, I agree. I think you got to look at that franchise model.
Yeah. And as a franchisor, I have to report who closes or loses, right? I have to report all the gross revenue for every single location. I'm not like,
That's right.
I can't hide it. So it holds
That's right.
an extra layer of accountability. So it's worth looking into.
Well, this has been fantastic. I would love for you to be a guest again on the show. I'd like to read your second book and have you back again if you would like to
next time you gotta have Rachel on too. Rachel,
I would love to have Rachel on.
She's
yes, she sounds like a dynamo.
She's pure dynamite.
Yeah, it's exciting. I wish I heard her bark one time, but I don't see her now. She knows when I'm working. So talk about dog training. I was shocked that she barked because I have a 5-pound mini poo and she knows when mommy is working and she usually does not make a sound through the day. And then, believe it or not, she also can tell, even if I stay in my desk area, or my office area, she can tell when I start talking to my mother or a friend, and then she comes over. And she still usually won't make a noise, but she'll jump on my lap. It's crazy how they know these things, but I was kind of hoping she would come over so I could show her to you. But she's being a good girl, and she's staying away while mommy is working.
Dogs are amazing.
They're absolutely amazing. And I might have a few dog questions for you as well. So thank you so much again. And as I said, I hope you'll be a guest again on the Interstate. Ryan Wimpey, CEO of franchising of Tip Top Canine, leadership coach, and just growing people and dogs, and an author. So this has been fascinating. And thank you for sharing your energy and your expertise with us. If you're listening, I also hope that you will return for the next episode of the Interstate. Have a great day.